I am not here to debate with anyone. I have devoted all of my adult life to this subject. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.
Yeah. Let me go ahead. Happy New Year. This is the second day of 2026. And I'm going to try to keep my promise to um I'm gonna try to keep my promise to a certain lady who is a supporter over here. And and you know what? Before I go there, I want you to check the links in the description box, by the way. And it should be a timestamp along with it. There should be a timestamp along with it. By the way, here's my buymeacoffee.com. You can reach me there. You can reach me on my Cash App. It's all there, right? But enough above that, right? What's going on, Hammer Time? Going with you. Oh, and shout out to the people on Twitch who's watching me as I speak. Shout out to y'all on Twitch, all right? Shout out y'all on Twitch. Angelica, let me get back to her, right? Because this is the female content creator who's a supporter of mine, and she says something. She was angry at me and said, "Why do I put up with the disrespect, Big J? You need to respect yourself and stop listening to that idiot over there, right?" I heard what happened on Bomb's channel. That nigga disrespect you, him and his little co-host, that the mute button, right? That woman who's the supporter of the person who's dumb now, I'm talking about, her ass is referred to as the mute button. So last week or a couple days ago, New Year's Eve week, earlier this week, I think around December 30th, 31st, I don't know, the 20, around Monday or Tuesday. He going to talk about how people are copying what he's saying. Let me help you out. There's nothing new under the sun. Okay? I'll do that later on because I'm only got one thing up, so I'll do that later on. Candy Cane, and plus though, I forgot to monetize my Twitch. I forgot to the fully monetize my Twitch. I forgot to do that. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not. Oh, yo, I'm making money off of social media and all that. I ain't. I have a job. Unlike some of y'all are talking, I have a job. It may not pay much, but at least I got one. I ain't trying to beg for no money. But however, donations are appreciated. So I'm just gonna put it like that though. I ain't having said that, right? And when we was on DJ Witch Doctor's channel, and this point was put up, and shout out to Jeff, right? Shout out to Jeff. And see, it's time to put out. It's time to tell what's really the problem is. The problem with this certain content creator is that mute button, the human mute button. And also the problem is the childish antics that goes along with the mute button. See, the thing is, you can't sit there and say we got a serious problem in society. You can't sit here and say we got a serious problem with the passport bros, which we do. We do have a serious problem with the passport bros. Oh, hold on. This is my Angelica. Go to BIGJ triple X 2021 on Twitch. Okay, BIGJ XXX 2021. That's my my Twitch name, right? And the thing is, right? Let me get right back to what I'm saying. Now, the passport bros have for years been a problem. The suspect, child touching, the questioning of age consent, live streams about age of consent, all of that, right? Okay, you found it. Okay, all right, Candy Cane, you found it. Okay. I hardly ever use it, Candy Cane. I hardly ever use my Twitch. I don't use it as much because I'm on some other video hosting sites as well, which some of it is linked to this, link to my StreamYards, by the way, which I'm not going to tell people what it is or what is what they are. But anyway, but back to the issue itself, right? You can't sit there and discuss on one hand that you want to help men, right? Because yes, yesterday, Sharon going to tell people, well, why do people are agreeing with me, but yet they're hating on me? Now I hear him and E, the man, say that bullshit. The problem is not the agreement. The problem is your ass is funky as fuck. You can't sit there talking about we here to help men out. While at the same time, that mute button that's on your panel can talk all that shit under men's clothes. And yet you will not address that human mute button. Now shout out to Jeff, right? Because he called her the mute button. You know, all the disrespect is made by that mute button. And nobody cannot address the mute button. Now, a man can sit there and make a complaint or an argument or whatever the case may be about how women don't like men or how women ignore men's feelings. And then the human mute button will come up and come into the conversation and make some despairing comments about the man who is talking. So when the man start to defend himself, then the other person will step in and always say, well, that's a female. And then and then what happened is the bounties are being made. So you cannot address the mute button. And you cannot address that bald-headed nigga over there too, though. Your cousin. His cousin, by the way. And then if you claim to say that you here to help men, you don't go and make homophobic remarks to these men. See, the problem with you is that the problem with Sharon is that Sharon's problem is he want to have his cake and eat it too. You don't sit there and claim you here to help men. At the same time, you're calling them rimbro. That's homophobic, homoerotic. And the only thing you doing, along with the human mute button over there, is what he does is validate the red pill. Validate how some men view women, especially African American women, with such disdain because the mute button can talk all that foolishness. And yet she cannot be addressed. She's not being told by the host, hey, you might want to chill out. Oh, wait a minute. You might want to sit here and sit this out. While Brownsville can come in the picture and say, well, you're not a man because you're not stoic and you shouldn't defend yourself from a woman. From the mute button. The human mute button over there. Okay? The human mute button do a lot of whole ass shit. And then when you say something back to it, oh, we got to do this. No, then therefore there's a dogpiling session. And let me say something. What happened on Bomb's channel? I'm glad that happened on Bomb's channel because it shows the true character of the individual, of those two individuals on Bomb's channel, Bomb's live stream. What leads me back to what Angelica told me the other day. And what V-Dub said, and I'm saying shout out to V-Dub Boogie too though. Now I'm gonna try to do my best with V-Dub and Angelica told me. Don't fuck with these niggas again. Don't fuck with their little punk ass panels. Based on what happened on Bomb's channel a few weeks ago. See, the problem is that I see is, and this is a second problem I have, right? What's the goal of this? If the passport bro, the black, the manosphere, the red pill, if they are a problem, if they are a problem, a social problem, a political problem, a mental health problem, that they are, okay? They are each of these problems that I mentioned. Then you should stand on the shoulders with stand shoulder to shoulder with other men who in the past fought that ideology. But what you do, Sharon and Brownsville, you continue to berate these other men because you pay attention what Bomb said. You pay attention what those stupid idiot females that's in your chat room. And let me talk about those women in the chat room. Because I'm glad Jeff mentioned this. Me and Jeff mentioned this on DJ Witch Doctor's chat room live stream the other night. The link of this is in the description box because I'm not lying. And it's time stamped. Because we were talking directly about what's in that chat room. You can't sit there and say that, oh, is all these black men are doing all this terroristic shit, which they are. Which they are. Right? But you can't sit there and say that when you got 4 or 5 women in that chat room doing a lot of bullshit in the background. One woman who talks all that shit said black men are dusties, black men are retrash dust bags and bullet bags. You can't say that, and she goes off and married the person who is part of the manosphere, and then come right back over to where you at talking about, well, black men ain't shit. You got to call that out too. Now everybody knows I'm talking about Flora. You got to call that shit out, but you won't because she's part of the problem. And you will not call out the other woman who's in your chat room, who went from one state to another, while at the same time she's over here talking about how black men ain't shit eat too, but yet she got with a dust mite nigga that you was hanging around with. That's why I called you niggas that's why I called you Negroes the Tyler Perry sector of YouTube. You are the Tyler Perry of YouTube. You always want to address the problems, yet though you don't want to handle that problem. You want to ignore the problem so that there will be a sequel to the problem. That's the issue. You can't just sit there and say, well, it's all the men's fault when there's women in your chat room who help prop up these no good niggas that like you said are the problem. Because one morning they're gonna donate money to you, and then by the evening time they're gonna go to their channels and open up their wallets or open up their legs to these men. Yet you will not address that shit. And the human mute button you know, since y'all want to talk about the whole idea of men should check men and women should check women, you know, that heifer is not checking those heifers in that chat room. That's why I have a hatred of you. No. It's not really hatred of you because I really don't hate you. But you a no good ass bitch ass nigga though. Now your cousin, oh I hate that nigga. I can see him coming. Not 1 ounce of intelligence from his cousin. Not 1 ounce of intelligence. It's the same old. It's the same old. Oh, you're this. You're that. You know, queens. And I said this the other day. I said this last night. Not last night. The other day. Earlier this week. I said, you know, does anybody find it funny that every woman, every black woman, is called a queen, but yet he never called his wife a queen? Do y'all find that funny? Do y'all find that, you know, do y'all actually think, do y'all actually, wait a minute, hold on, wait. Y'all never question yourselves, like, wait a minute, hold on. He did not call his wife a queen. Yeah, all these niggas want to talk about, though, they're married. We're more important to y'all, to the world, because we are married. You single men ain't shit because we're married. Wait a minute. But your boy sitting right here never referred to his wife, his mother, as queens. His wife, his mother, his grandmother. He doesn't refer to the women in his family as queens, yet everybody else is a queen. Y'all don't sit there and think about that? See, the thing is, I catch on with people what they are not saying. And what you're not saying is more important than what you are saying. You know, excuse me. I'm saying it's not more. It's just as important of what you are not saying is just no. Let me put it like this: what you're not saying is just as important as what you are saying. See, I've been here long enough, and this is what Bomb would never tell y'all. Bomb always be telling Sharon, oh, Big J knows history, Sharon. Then, okay, Bomb, how come you will not tell Sharon about Angel Ramirez Jordan? Because Angel Ramirez Jordan had done the same thing. Queens, you're my queen. The pro-blacks that used to be on here. Queens. Yet they never called their fiance a queen. They never called their wife a queen. They never called their baby mamas a queen. They never called their girlfriends queens. Every other woman is a queen. See, I catch on to shit. And some of us who've been here longest know when that word, when every time I hear a woman call a man a king, or when a man call a woman a queen, my ears like, uh-oh. I hear bullshit. I hear manipulation tactics is about to happen. I hear mental masturbation. That's why when I forgot her name, she used to be part of the conscious community. She used to call me king, and I rejected the term king. First of all, let me be real on this. I don't have no kingdom. I don't have no army, no military force, or some a stash of wealth to has the wealth of a king. So don't call me no damn king. All you doing is trying to make my quote unquote dick hard, and that shit does not work. Trying to lull me back to sleep on some bullshit. And that's how these women felt when niggas keep calling them queen. Now I know why. I know why women love to be called queen. Yes, because niggas be calling them bitches, hoes, shock docs, and all that, and insults for the last 15, 16 years over here in this sector YouTube. Candy cane. I used to do candy cane. I might want to use that term mental masturbation. I'm gonna see. I did a video titled this 10 years ago. I did a video called mental masturbation. There was a video I did like 10 years ago, and I talked about the shit. And you know what? I'm about to bring that back because I'm seeing a retread. This shit ain't new. When excuse me, I got slowed down. When I was beefing with the pro-blacks, and I hear them niggas talk about Kemet. Oh man, we was kings. That's mental masturbation. Stop it. When I used to drag the conscious community and the pro-blacks, or I'm sorry, the pro-wax I should call them, and the Hebrew Israelites. They always call themselves kings and queens and kings, we were kings and all that dumb bullshit that they be spewing. Now I know I'm getting ahead of myself on that. Yeah, I always call it mental masturbation. That's kind of like that Snoop Dogg song that came out a few years ago. Sexual seduction. Yeah, that's what it is. Mental masturbation. Whoa. That's what it is. It's mental masturbation. Oh man, she called me king. If that's all it takes for you to feel good about yourself because somebody called you something that you ain't, based on some pseudo science, pseudo history, pseudo reality shit, it's pseudo. You know, it's that pseudo shit. Now the thing is, now getting back to what my real problem is the childish antics. The childish antics is what I'm really. Let me get back to that. Right, that's really my sore point about them niggas over there. Right, you don't talk about problems, and then at the same time you want solutions to those problems, but then you will not go to the root of the problem. See, let me tell you what the root of the problem between men and women in this country across racial lines, across racial lines in Western society, it's about money and education. Education and employment are the problems between men and women. And that's also my problem with the red pill community, because the red pill do not want to address the real problems they have with, I'm talking about, with their problems with women, American women. Women are more educated than their male counterpart. That's the issue. Men are not happy when they're younger. Yes, a lot of us are not happy when we are in our 20s and 30s. Yes, this is a facts. These are facts. Men are not happy in our 20s and 30s because we have to prove ourselves, and we have to keep on proving ourselves until we attain certain items. And then you niggas cannot identify because y'all can't articulate yourselves correctly. Though, that's why I said, though, this only should be on there. Few people should be talking about this, not y'all. Now, Sugar Bum talking about how is education a problem? That's the stupidest question. No, scratch that. That's a good question, but coming from you, Sugar Bomb, you on some bullshit. There has been an education gap between men and women since the mid 1980s. Better yet, I said since 1982. I should say. I shouldn't say the mid 1980s. I should say since 1982 on up till today, there is an education gap between men and women. The more educated a person is, usually more what's the word? Financially secured this person is. The more educated you are, the more financially secure the person is. So how can a woman is looking for a man to take care of her when men are not in colleges and schools or having some type of degree? And it's all part of this. And all part of this is about young boys was getting Ritalin at an early age in elementary and early middle school, junior high years. So when you are giving young men, young boys, I should say, when you're giving boys Ritalin, Prozac when they're age 7, 6, 7, and 8, what you think their association is going to, they're being socialized to do? There's been books by Susan Hoff Summers called The War on Boys. There have been books by Tommy Curry called Man Not. Even Umar, that sorry nigga by the name of Umar Johnson, even did lectures about boys being given Ritalin and Prozac at an early age. How you think that's going to work out when you do a generation of millennials given these hypertropic drugs? How you think they're going to be functioning as an adult if you keep giving them in their formative years? What you think they're going to act like when they're adults? They're going to be either locked up or in a mental ward, or they're going to be lost. So there's not that many men these women could pair themselves to build a family with. See, this is what Sharon don't seem to grasp it, because the thing is, when it comes to Sharon and Brownsville and that human mute button over there, they don't want these solutions because these solutions is not profitable. Yet though they say solution-based game. While the manosphere side of it, they can't articulate that because they are the victims of what happened to them when they was in middle school. That's why a lot of those niggas over there are dumb as fuck. That's why they can't articulate themselves right. That's why they can't comprehend simple English sentences. Now, Shiesty Bum going to say in the chat room, how's that a woman's problem? Who said it was, or I say it wasn't? I said this is a societal problem. I did say that. See, and that's another thing I got a problem with. You cannot talk and debate in good faith. You are a bad faith actor. Talking in bad faith and discussing issues in bad faith is a fucking problem. It's been a problem. Especially when we got bounties being set up. Especially when you disrespect people on those panels because they're there. And let me say this too, since Soul Provider's in my chat room. So, let me answer your girl Shatera's question, right? Because I saw Shatera coming on DJ Witch Doctor's chat room saying that dumb shit, right? First of all, if Shatera have a problem, she can bring her black ass over here and ask those questions. And each of those questions, I'm going to say the answer is yes to each of those questions. And that's one thing I don't like, no busybody person getting in my fucking way. And she's one of them. See, here is the thing, too, though. You're grown. If we're having adult conversation, I expect you to act like a fucking adult. I don't care who you are. If you're an adult, I expect you to act like an adult. I expect you to walk like an adult. I expect you to be an adult. See, it's kind of like that Bible. You know, since everybody want to misquote that Bible, right? Well, here is a Bible verse. When I was a child, I thought as a child, and when I grow up, I put my childish stuff behind me. Yeah, and that's in the Old Testament, I believe. That's in the Old Testament, I believe. So if you're trying to talk to me and you on some bullshit, get the fuck on. Because I'm not that nigga to be talked to in any type of way. So Soul Provider, if you got a problem, if Richard Connolly got a fucking problem, if goddamn Shatera got a fucking problem, see me tell you something. You niggas came from Reg, the bad guy's channel. Stay your ass over there. Do not bring your ass over here. Y'all are the leftovers from Reg. That's why Reg got rid of you niggas, because he called y'all parasites. Stay your ass over there. Stay your ass over there. Now back to where I'm at, right? I know I'm ranting. I know that was a sidebar argument since Soul Provider decided to stick his neck up in his chat room. But let me go ahead and say it. You cannot discuss a serious topic and talk about you here to solve a problem, and then you create more problems. Talking about though, coming on your live stream and said, I'm not here trying to defend men. I'm not here to defend me. I'm not here to I'm not here to bash men over the head. Call them realm bros. Is that nigga? I'm not here to disrespect other men. Then why are you calling realm bros then? Why are you making these homoerotic, homosexual arguments? Calling them a bunch of homosexuals. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard of. And the only reason why you said it because Sexy Red said it, and therefore your ass want to run with it. Right. Exactly. Exactly. The Tyler Perry sector YouTube is not here to solve problems. See, shout out to Full Circle. The Tyler Perry sector of YouTube. See, you know, and when like I called it the Tyler Perry sector, I want y'all to understand. Go watch a Tyler Perry movie, right? Especially Medelia. Now everybody tell me I'm a Queen Sun Kiss, and I'm sure Queen is listening to me right now. I don't know, who knows. She might be enjoying the New Year holidays. And the thing is, guess what? Every time you watch a Medelia movie, it's the same shit. Go watch I Could Do Bad All By Myself. No, scratch that. Watch A Diary of a Tired Black Woman, and then watch Medelia's Family Reunion, and then watch the third movie or the third play, I Can Do Bad All By Myself. Now Medelia is what? Medelia and what's her brother's name? The brother's name in that movie? What's his name? The brother that lives in Medelia's house. Anyway, the point is, all these two characters are what? They're somebody's grandma, or somebody's grandpa, or somebody's auntie and uncle. They all got these family problems among their grandchildren, their children and grandchildren, or nieces and nephews. Now, mind you, it's the same plot. It's the same movie. A woman gets with a man, the man is abusive. Then though she quits man and finds somebody else. That's basically a Tyler Perry movie. If you watch the entire play, see, forget the movies. I watched the plays. I remember watching the plays in the early 2000s, right? Before Tyler Perry started making the movies, right? The Tyler Perry plays, because I used to have it on DVD. One time we had it on VHS. Yes, we did. We had it on VHS that one time in 2001. We had it on VHS at the time. It's the same plot. And my thing about the Tyler Perry plays, and yes, the movies, is this. Y'all didn't learn anything from the last movie? You didn't learn anything from the last movie? Now, I know, and Queen's Son Kids told me, well, like Big J, those were that's a different cast of characters. If you go from I Can Do Bad by Myself movie, and you watch the movie after watching the Diary of a Tired Black Woman, those are two different casts of people. Yes, but the cast from one movie to the other movie are what? First cousins, first or second cousin. I know what my cousin's doing. I know what my cousins are doing, or what problems he or she might have. Oh, you got a problem with a man beating on your ass? Okay. How come they didn't learn from what they all grew up in the same household? That's what I'm saying. They all came from this grandma who was Medelia, or this auntie called Medelia. You should learn. Man, listen, George. Yeah. I actually watched 5 of those plays. I watched five of those plays. I had to sit there. I was forced to watch that shit because I was at somebody. Because I was in college. I came home from college, and it was family there, and we had to watch that shit. I had to watch that shit. And in fact, though, I still got the movie somewhere. But the point is, the narrative is the same without any solution to, without anything drawn to a conclusion. And that goes right back to Sharon and Brownsville and the human mute button over there. And also the bomb cherry too. Okay? It's the human, it's the narrative running over and over and over again without any conclusion. Here's the thing: nobody don't want to address two things: the origins of the problem, and nobody don't want to work to the conclusion or the solution to that issue. Yeah, Joe. Joe was the brother of Medelia. That is, if you ever watch the plays, because he's more into the plays than in the movies. You are brother and sister in this house. You got all these nieces and nephews and grandchildren and everything else coming in there, and y'all don't learn the mistakes from other people. That's the issue that I have. Niggas don't want to solve problems. They want somebody else to do it. Go ahead, tell them. Go ahead and tell them. See, let me tell you how to solve this problem. You got to revamp the education system to get men back in par where they should be. No, get boys. Fuck these niggas who are grown. Get the boys in par with their female counterpart across the board in America. That's what Professor Scott Galloway, yeah. That's why people have a problem with me when I admire Professor Scott Galloway. And since we're on this Professor Scott Galloway thing, right? I want you to notice that the manosphere is attacking Scott Galloway because he knows what the problem is. The problem is for the last 40 years is not Oprah. Oh, but you know what? You know, I might want to do a live stream review on Oprah hosting Scott Galloway. But anyway, Scott Galloway identified the problem. It's the education gap and the employment gap between men and women. That's why men are told, well, you got to protect and provide. How is he going to protect, and how the hell he's going to provide when there is no means for him to do it? There is no cash fund. There is no funding. You know, the money he makes is not sustainable for him to take care of anyone. That is addressing the root cause on why some of these men, I said some, why some of these men are manosphere. See, none of you niggas don't want to address the root cause, and y'all don't want to solve the problem. This is a social problem. This ain't no social media entertainment shit. That's why Jay Rillo and fucking ass. That's why Jay Rillo and excuse me. That's why Jay Rillo and Floyd and Austin Holloman is propped up as heroes. You know why? You know why though they are propped up as heroes in this space? Or on YouTube, on social media? I'll tell you why. Because look at the men who propped them up. These are men who have no potential in life. Floyd has no potential in life. Well, in fact, he may not be living by the end by 2027, by the way. He will not last six months in Brazilian prison. But anyway, Floyd, Austin, and these cats from the Passport Bros, these MGTOW fools, these lonely MGTOWs who feed ducks at a lake, who's sitting at the dock of a bay at a lake, the MGTOWs over there, the Tommies, the Antons of the world. The reason why they're being looked up to because they're broken. They're broken by the education system. They're broken by by the workforce. Uh, uh, the decline of the American workforce. They're broken by the social services. They're broken by the politics of today, of the current era. And that's why they run to the Antons, the Tommies. They run to, the Floyds, the Austins, Hollimans, the Kevin Samuels, the MGTOWs. They run to them, these dating coaches, because they have nothing of substance to value. That's why they run to. That's why they run to Donald Trump. That's why I'd rather get grifted by the current occupant in the White House. Because society failed them. And yes, they failed themselves, by the way. They failed themselves as well. But at the same time, what y'all have done is instead of trying to solve the problem, you rather pour water on a grease fire so you can make monetary gain off of it, Sharon. And let me say this too. When Sharon got flagged, when he got demonetized, Sharon stopped making live streams for months, for weeks. So that tells me right then and there, he's not solution based. He's not solution based, because if he was solution based, he would kept on going despite the fact he was demonetized. No, he was forced to go back to work. He was forced to go back to work when he was demonetized. Well, if you afford these solutions, you should be no. When I was demonetized, for 2.5 years. I still kept making videos. I still kept doing live streams. What stopped you, Sharon? When Taz got demonetized, Taz did not stop. Taz kept going. What stopped you, Sharon? See, those are questions that need to be asked. Why did you stop when you was demonetized? That let me know that you was not about then calling yourself solution-based gang or solution-based group or whatever the place you call. That means though, nigga, you're faking the funk. You're a fake. You're a fraud. And now you over here whining about how some people are quote unquote, copying you. Nigga, nobody ain't copying you. People been discussing this shit when T. Riley group, the JT Riley group. If some of us who was older, some of us who've been here a very long time, go look up the JT Riley group. That was on YouTube back in the day. Now I know people say JT Riley group. Who the hell is JT Riley group? The person who did the same shit that Sharon and every other man was doing. What you're doing, Sharon, ain't new. Talk real solutions. In fact, let me do this real quick. TRS, right? TRS. I'm going to put the emblem TRS right here. TRS, Talk Real Solutions, did this long before you, Sharon. By the way, I think last night, well, what is today? Hold on, what is today? Today's Friday, right? I'm not sure. Was Tyrone did a live stream last night? I'm not sure. Even when Talk Real Solutions was flagged off of YouTube, Tyrone went back on Blog Talk Radio and still did his thing. What stopped you, Sharon? Tyrone still lies. Tyrone still do his live streams on YouTube. What stopped you, Sharon? This is not about solutions. This is about greed and money. Okay? That's what this is really about. Now, let me change my avatar again. Right? Let me change my avatar. Everybody else that did the exactly same thing you're doing now. Everybody did the exact same thing you are doing now. So stop acting like, oh, people are copying me. No, they're not. You just a new nigga on the block. Doing what everybody else had done. With the same thousand people in this sector YouTube. DJ Witch Doctor is doing the same thing as you. In a couple more years, somebody else gonna copy him. So stop getting on you. If you the big dog on this over here, you should be cheering on that people are copying you and doing and paying homage to you. You should be congratulating. I'm glad though there are more men like me. You should be saying like that, Sharon. That's what you should be saying. Well, I'm glad though there's people discussing the same things I'm discussing. If you want to be real about the shit. So Sugar Bomb, go ahead and tell that nigga to review it. But you know what? He ain't gonna do it though. He's not going to review what I said because he's going to have to answer to what I said. You're going to have to answer for what I actually said. And he's not going to be truthful about it either. And if he does it, he's not going to be truthful because what he's going to do is cut and paste and go around what I actually said and talk about, oh, this is about jealousy and shit. So yeah. I got this all off my chest. You know, I got it off my chest. Let me tell you something, Philly boy, because I see you in the chat room, right? I see you in the chat room. Bruh. Sometimes passion matters more than monetary gain. Okay? Passions matter more than monetary gain. That's why everybody's supposed to have a job or a career. I don't see you at the purge. I don't go to the purge. I don't go to the purge, Cassandra. The last time I was at the purge of the 2024 purge. The purge of 2024. Hold on, how many purges there been? There've been what, 5 purges? Well, the annual purge. I was the star of the first purge, or I wouldn't say the star. That's being I'm being facetious when I said that. I was one of the headliners of the first purge. Then I was on Purge Part 4. I was on the Purge of last year, or well, not last year. You know what I'm saying. The Purge of 2024, right? The 2024 Purge, or should say the last Purge. I should say the last Purge. You know, yeah, because I did made an appearance of the post-election Purge. I should call it. And yeah, right. Though the one, yeah. When it was you and Ism, yeah, me and Ism was like the first purge. That was the first purge. Now the purge that I was there the last time was between me and them 2 niggas. Me and Queen Sunkiss was being attacked by because me and Queen was mods on the 2024 purge, and we was just sitting there and being a co-host over on Ant's and then AJ seen red, or I should call it AJ seen stupid. That Manister nigga AJ seems, 2 ex-con niggas. AJ and Buster Free Jones are 2 ex-con niggas trying to do this manosphere shit on me and Queen Sunkiss, and me and her cook the both of them. That was the election purge. You know what, Mike V? I'm still waiting for that, Mike. I'm still waiting for that, Mike. Debate me on public policy. None of these niggas cannot sit there debate me on public policy. Oh, and shout out to the Black Brain Trust. Shout out to the Black Brain Trust, by the way. Because I'm going to say this, if it wasn't for the Black Brain Trust, if it wasn't for Thai City, yes, the Black Brain Trust, Thai City, MOT, my channel, yeah. And fuck all that. Fuck all that. What's his name? What's his name? He used to have the gray suit, the Shrutin Gray. So Shrutin Gray, myself, the Black Brain Trust, and MOT. Even exposed the manosphere. It's just five of us. can't debate people on public policy, you know, against any of us. BGS cannot debate us. Anger Man gets frustrated debating any one of us. What happened to Cerulean? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what happened to Cerulean. Yeah, because Cerulean Gray put out the Gray Faulkner Initiative. And I disagree. I'm going to say it again. I vehemently disagree with the Gray Faulkner Initiative. But at least Cerulean, shout out to Cerulean, at least Cerulean gave a fuck about the community to put out an economic, social plan for black people. Even though I vehemently disagree with it. I disagree with 75% of it. But I respect the shit out of it, though. I'm going to say this again. I respect the shit out of it. I cannot sit there and shit on Cerulean Gray. I can't. You never saw me, Cerulean, crap. You never see me took a huge crap on his Gray Faulkner Initiative. Why? He was trying to solve a problem. He was trying to bring a solution to a problem. Right. I liked him when he broke away from the manosphere and started exposing. Right. So Sharon cannot call himself solution-based gang when he did not put out any economic or political plan to help black society, or the way I call it, the community. Even I got my own agenda. There's a video. If you go on my channel, there's a video called "My Black Agenda of 2019." There's another video on this channel that was called it's actually a two-part video, a two-part series about reparations. Because I have my own reparations plan. And it's not really reparations, but black people will get paid from it. Right? Because I believe in in my interview with Marshall Dixon. Go look up my interview with congressional candidate Marcel Dixon when me and him talked about reparations. Because I took his and I added to my reparations, my infrastructure bank plan. But you don't see these clowns today talk about actual real solutions to remedy the problem. It's just a clown show. Oh, I got bounties and let me do this and let me do. No, you're in the way. And Vic gonna talk to me the other night. That dumbass nigga Vic, the rooster, going to tell me about, man, Big J, I need to be on your panel. No, you don't. Because Vic, Rooster, you get on there and you defend Jay Prince. I'm talking to the rooster, to that nigga Rooster. Now Republican Wesley Hunt does not support reparations, nor he support Juneteenth. Right. Now Mike V, let me say this right now, Mike. When it comes to reparations, right, I'm on the fence on that. And And the reason why I'm on the fence on it, because I think that there is a better idea to get things redressed, right? To get economic hardships addressed. I believe though, I believe that an infrastructure bank, similar to the infrastructure bank during the 13 colonies, when America was part of the British colonies, there was the Bank of North America, and the Bank of North America at the time. And this is when we had the 13 colonies, and Canada was a part of, the British colonies at the time. Each of the colonies would get some funds back, because of the French and Indian War of the 1750s. You know what? I might have to revisit that. But anyway, the point is, every citizen should in this case, black America, right? Anybody who's a descendant of slaves should get something at the end of the year, right? And it's enhanced by trade with the African nations. My idea, Mike, is we create an infrastructure bank. We create a trade zone with Liberia, Sierra Simone, the English-speaking African nations first, and then whatever money is generated, we get a check at the end of the year, right? Because it is a economic trade zone. Right. The plank of North Dakota, and also hold on, Mike V. Also, what Alaska does. Anytime there's an oil being drilled out of Alaska, the citizens of Alaska get what? They get a check at the end of every year. It's the same thing. What happened North Dakota and Alaska. That's why I said we need to have an infrastructure bank that does this, right? That does things like this. See, but nobody don't want to pay attention to the solution to the problem, or what will solve the problem. They rather be called Queens by Brownsville. That's why when Brownsville brought his narrow ass over here, when Brownsville brought his ass over here, and I was talking about talking about Iran and Israel, he want to talk about some goofy bullshit, and MOT had to run his ass off of here, off my channel. Shout out to McMahon of Tomorrow for running Brownsville off my channel. See, that should tell you who is really about the shit. Who the true believers are. Do you want to talk the solution to the problem, or are you going to stay on the fucking problem all the goddamn time? Bruh, right, exactly. Hey, Mike. The infrastructure bank idea of mine is like this, Mike. There are four pillars, right? No, there ain't four pillars, but there's pillars. There's pillars, right? One will address baby bonds. One will address international trade, and yes, one will be investment from okay. let's say a city or town needs to borrow money. They borrow money from the infrastructure bank. Guess what? No matter if the town is white or black, they get us back the money back. You know what I mean? The interest being paid comes back to us. And the fourth pillar, right, is something for reparations for the descendants of black inventors and black inventors and people of that sort. The four pillars plan. I see it again. You know what? I don't need bounties. I don't need bounties. Okay? I don't need bounties because you allowed the mute button to get away with shit. Hold on, you said what? Madani said New York said the Madani NYC says community bank in Harlem loaned out 100 million to small business and it had 98% repayment. Right, Mike. And that's what needs to be done. See, so my vision and what Marcel Dixon. Oh, and let me say it to Sharon. Do not come in here with no disrespect. That's why I timed you out. I demand respect. You're not gonna come in here with no disrespect. Not from you, not from Brownsville, not from that human mute button over there. That's why you asked the time the fuck out. Nobody have to tag you, nigga. Now back to the point. Ain't no rule book about tagging. Fuck you. Anyway, the thing is, right? And don't even sit there talking about jealousy. There's nothing you got I want, nigga. There's not a black man on YouTube I'm jealous of. Unless your name is Barack Hussein Obama, I'm not jealous. Because you niggas don't have nothing that I want. Y'all don't attain the things that I want. You have a YouTube channel. That's all you got. You said black farmers need their fair share too. Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham made sure black farmers didn't get their just due under Trump. Biden did. See, and that's my problem with the you see, Mike V, that's my problem with people like Tim Black. My problems I have with the Black Authority and Jason Black. They never talk. They keep bad mouthing. They keep. See, I'm gonna say something. I believe people like Phil Devine show and Mike, the Tim Blacks and you know, they're undercover Trump supporters. You know, the people who call themselves the new black media, right? Those who call themselves the new black media, they always keep on trashing, quote unquote, the Democrats on some goofy shit, rather than talking about the black farmers. See, let me tell you something. I'm in agriculture. Do you know how much meat? I'm talking. Somebody asked myself, hurt under Trump. Trump actually hurt me economically. As a black man in the agricultural sector, I'm hurt. But a lot of these niggas over here are more worried about EBT cards given to black females. Not understanding black farmers get paid. See, this is how stupid people are online, right? This is how stupid people are online, right? They're stupid online, not reading government spreadsheets, not reading government policy, not reading anything about what the government does, but yet though they follow uh talking points, political talking points. For every EBT card being made, the same amount of money is being spent on a farmer. Because it comes from the department, which is called the Department of Agriculture. The Department of Agriculture does this. It runs what? Food stamps. Guess what it also does? It gives subsidies to farmers and ranchers. John Deere wasn't financing tractor equipment. The black farm that had to go to Kubota and case for tractors discriminating black. Facts. That's facts. That's facts. Those are facts. And let me say this too, old boy. If you're gonna talk all that shit, you know what? You know what? I'll do this. I'll do this right here. I'll do this right here. If you got a problem, the doors of the church is open for you. Just for you. Otherwise, be quiet. Yeah. Okay, but tell him I got the link too. Tell him I got the link too. Oh, and hold on. Why is you a mod? Why did it made you a mod? You know what? I'll sit on that for a minute. I'm sitting on that for a minute. Why the hell I made you a mod? Anyway, where was I at? Right? And these people are so stupid on social media. Do they realize that black farmers who feed their ass, y'all won't support them? Y'all won't support people who actually fed your ass. Because you so worried about Keisha and her fucking ass EBT card. Well, Keisha gets paid from the same motherfucker that gives money to black farmers, you jackasses online. You, the new black media types. That's why I said you niggas are in the way.
I can't hear for some reason. What's going on? I can't hear. Let me see.
You can't hear?
Huh?
You can't hear? I hear you. I hear you.
I see myself on the show, but I
I'll
can't
put you in the back.
hear Big J. I don't know what's going on.
But come back later then. If you can't hear me, come on back later. Come on back later then. Yeah, well, hold on. Put him back on up here. Can you hear me? I'm gonna sound like that guy from T-Mobile. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Mike V. Right. Trump's trade war with China hurt black farmers because soybeans import was millions is $1 billion economic trade for black farmers. Yet though, if you let Anger Man tell it, oh, it's about EBT. If you let BGS Igmore tell it, well, we vote for Donald Trump to get the black females in check. But what about the black farmers, nigga? That's why BGS banned me back in August. Because anytime when every time when you tell BGS, when you back BGS into a corner, they which across if you on the pen, you can. What the hell going on? I can't click on. Yeah, Stan, if you want to jump on the panel, you can. Who's back? Okay. Can you hear me now? It's like T-Mobile. Can you hear me now? I should say a whole class of song. Hello? Is this me looking for? Hello. It's like the what's the name from the Commodores?
Yeah, I'm here now. Now, what's your issue?
All right, Stanley, on the panel if you want. You know, like it seems to me though he's having problems. It seems to me though he's having technical difficulties. So let me just put him in the
I'm
back.
here now.
He's saying
you can
that.
hear me? Can you hear me now?
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me now? Now, what's your issue? Speak up. Don't be quiet as kept now. Oh, okay. That's what happens when the real man get here. Get quiet. All right. If you don't got no problem, then it is what it is.
See him got kicked off. Go ahead. Yeah, here's the panel. What's going on, Deacon Dave?
I'm up here.
Deacon
What's up,
Dave.
man? I was going to
Deacon,
cover for you.
can't
I'm
get
in
you
the gym.
speak.
Yeah, I'm speaking. I think you got technical issues on your end, bro. Because we can hear Sharon. That's how you
Well,
say it, right?
bring him back then. Yeah,
I think
bring
he
him
might have
back.
fired
Bring
up a
him back.
lie.
Bring him back. Oh, bring him back.
Yeah, man, you're buffering. You're buffering.
I'm buffering. I just plugged up my my thing to the monitor to the modem.
Yeah, you sound
Because
straight for a little bit,
it
but
was
sometimes
acting.
yeah, it gets a little choppy, but you sound straight though.
Okay, I sound straight now. Okay, good.
Yeah, keep
Good.
cooking, keep cooking. I'm gonna fall to the chat
Anyway,
because I'm in the gym. I was gonna
yeah.
fill up the dead air for you.
Okay. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Right. I appreciate it. It's just that I don't know why the internet is acting funky now. But anyway, yeah. But I'm just saying, right? I mean, you can't sit there and act like we supposed to you accuse people of copying you. People copying you like as if though you were the first one who did it. I'm the one who invented the wheel. Bro, the wheel been around for millennia. Okay? It's been here for thousands of years. You can't act like no, I just invented the wheel. Come on. For real. So again, yeah. So yeah, I miss what happened. Stanley. If Stanley want to come up, Stanley, you can. So Candy Cane, when I was gone, when I was not knocked off, when I was knocked off of Candy Cane, um, what was being said? Oh, here we go. The internet is acting up again. You know what? I'm gonna say something. I just pay for this fucking internet, and you're acting funny. I'm looking at the lights on that on my modem. Motherfucker. This shit's for the birds. So where is Stanley at? Stanley. I guess Stanley was gonna come up anyway. You know what? Hold on, let me drop the link for Stanley. Can I you tell me what was said when I was booted off? It was choppy and he dropped before you. Okay. Okay. So where's Stanley at? But anyway, but like what Mike V was talking about, uh, the problem is I have with black YouTube, the little channels, the small channels, all it does is spread misinformation. That's all it does. They're the main ones. Stanley pump fake like he was going to hit the link. Well, Deacon, tell Stanley to hit the link because I asked him to jump on the link, to jump on the panel. Anyway, because if Sharon was having problems, right? If Sharon was going to have problems, then I said, you know what? I'll let Stanley talk instead because at least Stanley, because at least Stanley can me and Stanley can get it until Sharon fixed his internet. But it was my internet that was fucking up. I believe it was my internet, not Sharon's, that was fucking up. Who knows? Right? Because I really was waiting for Sharon to hit that damn link though. But anyway, back to the point. Black YouTube claims we're here to give black people a voice. But if you listen to a lot of these content creators and listen to them talk, they don't know what the fuck they're saying. They did nothing for us black men. I remember that time I was on Auntie's channel. And no. I'm not here to disrespect Auntie. I'm not here to disrespect Auntie. I'm here to talk. I'm here to make an example out of this, right? So I got tired one day, and I was, I was on Auntie's panel, and they were talking about how black men wasn't getting, there was no government policy for black people, and particularly for black men, right? And I got so tired of hearing it, right? And then I said, the problem is too many of you niggas are either faking the funk or y'all so grossly misinformed. So me being me, I put out the of the United States Commission on Black Boys. And there is an actual commission for black boys, and there is a U.S. commission on black girls, right? I put this out here, right? Instead of saying, because I hear niggas saying this shit, and it's getting on my nerves, right? Black men, there is no things, they're not speaking to us black men. No, they're not. So I said, okay. Illinois congresswoman by name of Robin Cook passed a bill called the creation of the Commission of Black Girls. She does not care about black men. The Democrats don't care about black men. Black men are this, black men that. We ain't respected. Then I put up a link. The Commission of Black Boys. I don't believe you, Big J. I don't believe it. So I sent them the link. And in fact, about the whole thing, they have a YouTube channel. There is a real life commission, a government commission on the welfare of black boys. It's on YouTube. There's a YouTube live stream of Robin Cook, the woman who created the Commission on Black Girls. She also wrote the law, a bill which was passed called the Commission on Black Boys. And when I saw the live stream, because it was a Zoom call. It was black liberals and black conservatives on this Zoom call. They were discussing about unemployment. They were discussing about economics, education, the criminal justice parts of it. Now, this bill was around during Trump's first term. This is like, I want to say like 2018, 2019. Even though I still put out the information out, and this is the frustrating part. Niggas went right back to their operating procedure, their standard operating procedure of the black man ain't getting shit. You know, black women won't submit. The black women won't let them lead. Black women won't do shit for black men. But yet Robin Cook, who is a black woman in her own right, a black woman, a black congresswoman from the state of Illinois, create a commission into helping black men out. That's why I look at you, a lot of you niggas in this space, with such disdain. Facts does not matter to any of you niggas. Y'all just gravitate towards talking points. I got no respect for you. And this is what happened on Auntie's live stream a few years ago. It doesn't matter what information is put out, you still going to disregard it because it does not fit the narrative about, because you weren't worried about Keisha. Well, what isn't Robin Cook a Keisha? Now I know y'all going to say, well, Keisha does not look like, she ain't dark skinned. That's a light skinned black woman. So what? So fucking what? Here, oh my God, hold on, here we go with this internet. Okay, good, okay, good, okay. About to say, man, you better not act up again, internet. Something's weird going on, but anyway. But yeah, Robin Cook wrote this bill. And then niggas sit there talking about, it isn't true. And then, but if somebody tell you the world is flat, y'all sit there and believe it. If somebody tell you we was Indians, you niggas will believe it. If some of you niggas said though we came from Egyptian Kemet kings, y'all would believe it. And how can y'all call yourselves Kemet when most black Americans came from West Africa, when Kemet, aka Egypt, is in Northeast Africa? Start making sense. And that's why a whole lot of y'all do not deserve. I'm going to say it again. A lot of you do not deserve any accolades. Because all y'all do is peddling out bullshit, and then y'all wonder why, then like you wonder why Jay Prince can sit there and get famous for saying dumb shit, and you not getting accolades. Because y'all would rather you'd rather be governed by emotions and mental masturbation rather than governed by facts and information. Information matters, not masturbation. Black men are governed by masturbation, not information. It's what feels good. You're governed by what feels good. Oh, it feels good, but then how can you say how can you be governed by what feels good, but you're not governed by? No, scratch that. Let me rear that fishing hook back. Let me rear this fishing hook, this fishing rod back for a minute. Let me cast another line in this because I have a better argument. I have a better argument. How can you be governed by feelings, but then y'all the main niggas that get online talking about facts don't care about your feelings when y'all talking to women? Explain that. How can you be governed by feelings, but then claim you're logical and women are emotional? You got to explain that part. Because what you say makes absolutely no sense. And then when anytime somebody says something, and shout out to Mike V, right? Who was in his chat room earlier. Shout out to Mike V. Mike V and I and MOT have problems with BGS. Anytime when we sit there and put out a fact, anytime when the Black Brain Trust put out a fact, is always a BGS or AB Media or the Obsidian or Gray Faulkner, no, or Charles Faulkner, and them niggas always try to distort things and blame it on the Monahan report. So let me tell you something that needs to die in 2026. The Monahan report argument. The Monahan report argument needs to die in 2006. Nobody who's on YouTube, in this sector YouTube, by the way, wasn't around during the Monahan report. That's number one. Some of us was born post 1975. Some of us was born after the 1970s. So why do you keep on talking about the mining report? And hold on. Let's talk about that, right? Hold on. If Stanley wants to come back on the panel, I'm gonna give him the link again. If Stanley or if Sharon want to come on the panel, I'll put it back up because I guess the internet is working. I guess the internet is still working. I guess I'm assuming the internet is still working. And put okay. Is your camera still on? Is your camera on, Stanley? Hold on. Let me put this up. Put this up quick. Put this up. Okay, good. Okay.
Hey,
Stanley
what's up,
on here.
Big
What's
J?
going on, Stanley?
How you doing?
See? Oh, hold on. Put it back. Put it in the back. Put him in the back real quick. Hold on, y'all. Something's weird is going on. Let me put it up here real quick. You up here. Hold on.
Hey, can you hear me?
What the hell going on? What the fuck? Hold on. What's going on here?
I am talking.
Hold on. Sam said, Big J, I hear you, Big J. Stanley, can you? Hold on. Let me go on my YouTube real quick. I can't hear me, but I hear you. Hey, see, let me go on my YouTube real quick. I'll be right back. Oh, wait a minute. Trouble connecting. This is often caused by an unstable internet connection. If you're on Wi-Fi, try plugging into your router or move closer to it. This could also be a browser issue. Try using Chrome if this continues. The fuck? This is some bullshit. Hold on. Let me see this. Hold on. Yeah. Let me go over and use this real quick. Let me go over here real quick. This is bullshit. Hold on. I'm Chrome, by the way. He said, oh, what the? All right. I might have to switch over to Chrome. This is some bullshit. For real.